Well, hello.
What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole. This is Dude That's Fucked Up, the podcast.
Welcome, dudes.
Oh, welcome.
You are so welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. I hope you're all doing okay. Staying healthy, staying sane. We got a
Fucking Jesus.
a treat of a show for you.
How are we like almost 2 years into this pandemic? How long did the one around the 1900s last?
Years.
Oh, cool.
And like a lot of people died. Like
Yeah.
a lot more because we didn't have vaccinations back
vaccines.
then.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
You dumb shits. Oh, fuck. Oh, man.
Oh,
well,
God.
we're just stressing over here about
We're
things.
just, woo.
Trying not to spiral, trying to stay.
Oh, my God.
Every day. Every day is a journey. Oh, man.
Every day is me trying not to spiral. And inevitably ordering chicken tenders.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I cut them up and put them on a salad, so it's healthy, but also it's not. And in the meantime, I've told you, my life is like a pendulum, and it's even that way with like bathing and exercise, and also eating plant-based. I'm like very like, ooh, plants. I'm going to eat plant-based. And then I just go back and I'm like, chicken tenders.
Oh, but you know what? It's okay because
It's okay, yeah.
I had a plant-based matcha latte today, which, it's only plant-based because it is made with like almond milk. Instead of regular milk.
Yeah.
And it was so gross. I was like,
oh,
God damn it.
Because the almond milk was probably gross.
Yeah, the almond milk sucked. And like it had it was like sweetened with dates.
Yeah.
And I don't like dates. So
yeah,
I could always taste it. Like people are like, oh, it doesn't like they don't taste, it's so neutral. It's like, bitch, it's not. I can taste it. I don't like that shit.
Fucking take your dates and shove them up your asshole because sugar is a plant. So just put that in there.
I know. It's like, don't piss on my foot and tell me it's raining, you fuck. Don't.
Well, this was like a Whole30. It's like a Whole30 type matcha latte, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's like this like cutie little brand, like it's like it wasn't like a it wasn't like a.
Oh, it's pre-made.
It was pre-made, so that's why.
Oh, that changes things.
Yeah. I was,
Yeah.
Because all I have right now is just like fun drinks.
Yeah. Fun non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, and so I was just like, that's what I like splurge on, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try this like cutie little thing, and it sucked ass. I threw it away.
Oh my God. Good for you. You know what? Don't waste. This is my mantra now too. Like in the past couple of years, it's like if we don't like something that we're eating, it's like we already paid for it, that we've already spent the money. We don't have to eat it. I'm not eating or drinking this thing that's disgusting. Okay?
Yeah.
You feel free to just get rid of it. You don't have to like it.
Also, if you're Yeah.
The only thing I have these days is pastries. And lots of other things, I guess. But that's like what my daily thing. And so I wish we had a producer right now who like was listening to us take notes, because then I could be like, remind me to take the pastries out of the freezer to proof them overnight so that I can eat it to bake it tomorrow. And they'd be like, okay, like an
assistant
or like a Steven from My Favorite Murder, like Steven, quick note. I need to proof or like, Pete, I should have yelled at him, Pete, take out the pastries and proof them, but I'll remember.
I just text DJ throughout the show sometimes. Just like, if I ever get a faraway look in my eye, that's what it is.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
I tell him do shit all the time while I'm podcasting. I don't give a shit.
And that's multitasking.
Mm-hmm. I'm a multitasking ass bitch. Oh my God. Well, speaking of multitasking, do we have any business for the day?
Oh my gosh. We should say visit our Patreon, patreon.com/DTFU podcast. I think mentioning it is great because people are finding it and it's very fun. Like we have new
We've gotten
people
a bunch of
joining
new-
like
new
every day.
patrons. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so nice. Thank you. Welcome aboard to all the new patrons.
Welcome. Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah, and then also go to our website. It's dtfupodcast.com. We have merch on our website.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy fun things on there.
Ooh.
If you want. You can click around all kinds of places. You can watch us on YouTube. We have the videos on the website, so you don't even have to like you could just like watch them on DTFU podcast. Like it's embedded.
Yeah. They're embedded. Yeah, the most recent episodes.
Yeah. You don't have to like separately go to YouTube if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Let's see
One-stop
what else.
shop.
Oh, go download the whohaha app.
Yes.
And you can listen to us on there, and you can people keep tweeting at us like things that we have said on the podcast, and we're like, oh God.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Yeah,
what the
literal
context
years
was
ago.
of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to hear those clips again. And you could do that while you're listening on the whohaha app. You can cut out a piece of the audio, and you can put that audio on your social media platform of choice and tag us in it.
Oh my God.
And then we'll know.
How fun.
Because some of the shit we say, I'm like, what?
I had to ask for context. Yeah. I was scared because there was something about like masturbating with a corn dog or something.
Yeah, putting a corn dog in your chocha. Yeah.
Yeah, a frozen one, not a cooked one.
No.
And and I was like, I would like the context for this, but I'm afraid to ask. But they gave it. And it was fine. And I was like, oh, yeah, we were just joking.
Yeah, definitely don't put a frozen
Erin
corn
said
dog.
we were just, Erin's like, to be clear, we don't actually condone this. It's like, yes. This was taken hashtag out of context. You cannot hear the sarcasm or all the joking about it.
Jokes, guys, jokes.
Jokes. We got jokes.
Oh, my God.
Well.
Anything fucked up for you this week?
Oh my gosh. In my notes, I put, aside from doing my research on the completely wrong topic, happy face. Whoops. But I'm very prepared down the road when we do
the topic that you actually researched.
Yeah. It was just a different white woman that we were talking about. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you this. It's going to embarrass me probably, but it's kind of funny. I clocked it last night, and I was like, this could be my fucked up thing of the week. But
I love it.
We were watching the new show on Hulu with Nicole Kidman last night.
Oh, my God.
We watched 2 episodes last night. We watched the 3rd tonight. What days does it come out? Do you know?
I think Wednesdays.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
the show 9 Perfect Strangers
9
on
Perfect
Hulu.
Strangers. Mm-hmm.
New Nicole Kidman, culty wellness retreat.
Melissa McCarthy, Bobby Cannavale.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Michael Shannon. Great cast.
Fabulous cast.
Fabulous cast. And we were watching that, and like Pete was kind of like dozing off, and he was laying, I wouldn't say, he was laying with his head towards me, but it wasn't like right next to me. Anyway, I had a very heavy blanket over my lap, and someone may have farted. It could have been me. I wasn't exactly sure because I was like so engrossed in the show. And Pete, because I thought he was like asleep.
Oh, no.
He was like, oh my God. And I was like, what? Not even realizing, he's like, you just farted in my face. It was not in his face, I just want to say. It was like,
it was
adjacent to where his head was. Okay.
It was on top of his head.
I was sitting on top of his head and just farted right into his mouth. No. And so I was like, oh, I got very defensive, and I was like, oh, it's not even by your face. It doesn't even smell. It's just from drinking a fizzy water. It doesn't even smell. I have this heavy ass blanket on. I'm wearing like pants, and
it's LaCroix, like
it's a LaCroix fart.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, it smells like a little of a grapefruit, a pamplemousse.
A pamplemousse.
Yeah. It's
toot.
a little
a pumpletoot.
It's a little pumpletoot. And then I was like, oh, whatever. You're being rude.
Okay.
I know.
Bitch.
I know. I just hated it because it was embarrassing. And then I went and like brushed my teeth, and I came back out, and then I was like, I'm sorry I farted close to your head. I was like, I thought you were asleep. And he's like, it's okay. I forgive you. And he was being so nice about it. And I was like, I would have really been upset
if it would have been,
were turned. Yeah. And he was like, oh, I know. And then I was like, but I don't know even how this came up, but I was like, I said, because it was barely a fart. It's like I almost didn't even fart. It was just like the sound. There was no smell. He's like, and I said like there was no smell, or like it didn't even smell or stink or something. And he thought I said I didn't even shit or something. And then
oh no.
He was like, what? Wait, so you didn't fart, you just shit? And then he was very confused, and I'm like, see, I wasn't lying, I just shit. And he was like, oh no, I know. I said, oh, it was just like, it wasn't anything, it was just a little poot. And then he was like, a poop? And then he's like, so you didn't fart, you weren't lying to me. And I was like, no, I pooted. Anywho,
oh my God.
It was fine. It didn't smell because I'm an angel and I'm just perfect and so sweet.
Of course. Duh.
Yeah.
Oh
so it was fine. But I did apologize because I was like, if the tables were turned, for sure, I would have been very upset.
Oh my God.
I would have
yeah.
said, oh my God, my fucking nose was right by your asshole, even though it wasn't, but I would have like definitely made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
And he would still be paying for it today. So
oh my God,
do you have anything fucked up?
No, I don't. I got nothing. That was enough for me. Just to hear your fart. Your pumple toots.
Yeah, my pumple poot.
So good. Oh my God. Let's just do that. Let's get into this topic.
Let's do it.
It's a wild one, guys. My God.
It is. Oh my goodness. Oh my
This is everything
goodness.
I love, though. This is everything I love. It's so a scandalo. It's so, I don't know,
but
tasty.
Okay, it is, but like doing this and looking back, I'm like, no one knew what happened here. Like, but it's like a cover up, blah, blah, blah. Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to give too much away, but just the whole time I was like, it seems very obvious what happened here.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I just have a question for the general listener population.
But I'll answer it because I'm here.
Okay, yeah. Has anyone hung out with a very rich person or worked for a very wealthy person?
Like how how wealthy are we talking?
I'm talking, okay, first of all, I want to say like some rich people are very cool and chill, but a lot are very, very weird and kind of terrifying.
Yeah, but we don't need to we don't even need to excuse rich people. No.
But what I'm talking about, the rich that I'm talking about is like East Coast old money. I'm talking about people who collect people. I'm talking about people who own multiple homes that have been in the family for years and have names,
like the woman on the White Lotus, like Jennifer Coolidge on the White Lotus, like she collects people, right?
Yeah, she collects people. She has like multiple homes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm talking like people who have so much money they can get away with crimes and not face any consequences because they're crazy rich. Yeah. I feel like the closest I've gotten to this was an old boss and a couple of friends who were like at school with Kate Middleton and Prince William at St. Andrews. Like they were like at school with them.
Yeah.
Which is like fully fucking shit.
Oh my God.
Or they were like on first name basis with Kennedys, like friends of friends,
Oh
because it's kind of like that in DC sometimes. You just like start, you make friends and like they're like connected to rich people because there's a lot of fucking money there.
Yeah. Why is that? Is that because like when you're that wealthy, you're like, I think I'll just get into politics. Like why is there such like a contingent?
It's GW in Georgetown. It's like the college pipeline of like really wealthy kids going to school there.
And then they just get like an internship or something and stay there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or it's just like, I mean, when I was there, it was just like you kind of stay there for a couple of years. You work for a senator or a congressman.
Yeah.
Or you get into like philanthropy. Like there's lots of nonprofits there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like
Gross.
it's like a pipeline of just like rich people, you know?
Yeah.
So, and they're all, it's like all East Coast, like old money. It's had no idea what that was a big culture shock. So,
I don't know. I don't know them. Mm-mm.
No, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know them either. I'm just,
yeah.
That was that. It's like you're in the outer ring.
You're aware of them.
Orbit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I never got close. I feel like I knew some rich people when I lived in New York, but like not like that. They were rich from whatever smaller towns they came from in North Carolina or whatever, and like had money and looked up to like socialites and stuff, but they weren't socialites. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but they wanted to be kind of, I don't know. It's all very odd.
It was,
I don't know.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird social strata. But so today we're talking about one such uber wealthy person. Yeah. And if you know or have even watched like Succession or anything like that, this is like the level. This is the level I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah. That's a way better reference than The White Lotus.
Yeah. I'm talking like Succession family, like wealthy for a very long time.
Yeah.
In America.
And doing some fuck shit because they're so wealthy.
Yeah. So the one such uber wealthy person who was one of America's OG heiresses, a legendary philanthropist, and she also may have gotten away with straight up murder. She may have probably most likely murdered one of her very good friends and just totally got clean away with it because she was so goddamn wealthy.
Oh my God.
Yep. Today we're talking about Doris Duke and the quote-unquote accidental death of her friend, Eduardo Tarella.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
people collecting people.
People collecting people.
Oh God. She did. He was one of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you don't know anything about Doris Duke, I mean, she came about like she was like a jazz age like woman. She was an American billionaire tobacco heiress, a philanthropist, like I said, an art collector, a horticulturist, and a socialite. So
oh my God,
she just like had the money, was dabbling everywhere.
Yeah, she didn't need to work for it.
No.
She literally just was like
born into money.
Also, imagine being a billionaire when you're coming of age in the jazz era and you have no responsibilities.
Oh my God.
And no one has $1 billion.
Oh no, like she was at one point, I mean, she was often, her nickname was the richest girl in the world.
Yeah.
And she was a literal billionaire back when the word billionaire wasn't even a thing. Like
Jesus
in
Christ.
Today's money, like
yeah.
But it was like so beyond wealth that anybody had at the time.
Oh my God.
Like people didn't even know to call people billionaires because that just wasn't in the lexicon.
They hadn't counted to 1 billion yet.
They're like, that's too much. We're good.
They're like, we can get to 1 million, and from there, that's it.
Yeah, we didn't need to go that high.
Yeah.
And she wasn't one of those like rich, boring fucking rich people. She was like living her life, living her rich ass life to the fullest. Like she was out here doing anything and everything. She actually like tried to like have a job for a while. She was a news correspondent for a brief period of time in the 1940s.
She just never showed up. She's just like, I don't need the paycheck.
Yeah, they're like, can you like work on Wednesday? She's like, no, darling, I'm going to the clubs. I can't. Are you joking? My God. Yeah, she played jazz piano pretty proficiently. And
rich people always learn an instrument.
Of course, you have to.
Yeah,
it's
you have
required.
to. It is.
And she was a competitive surfer, you guys. This was like in the like 30s and 40s when ain't nobody was doing that shit. That's pretty fucking cool.
It's all just like, yeah, of course, because she didn't have to do anything else. Like all of this, it's like it's funny because it's like she's very eclectic and like, very well rounded, trying all these things. But it's like, of course she is.
Of course, because she can.
Of course, yeah.
She was super hot, had cool, rich friends.
Oh my God.
And she had tons of lovers. Like,
Ooh.
on the surface, this woman is just like slaying. Like, I love her. Like, you know, she's fucking
like
badass.
On paper, she's.
On paper, she
oh my God. Until we get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. And we're going to get there. But let's just like talk about some of her cool fucking lovers.
Her hot lovers? Okay. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Okay, one of them was Duke Kahanamoku, who was a Hawaiian royal and Olympian.
Oh my gosh.
He's the one who taught her how to surf. He taught her how to ride the surfboard.
Ooh, yeah, he did. Also, isn't there a restaurant called Duke's that's from Hawaii? I wonder if it's named after him.
Could be.
Cool.
Yeah. Isn't that weird that her last name is Duke and she's fucking on a Duke?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're
duking
weird.
it out. I don't know.
Well, you dated someone named Erin.
Yeah, well. That's true. I shan't cast any stones in this glass house.
No, you should, but I'm just saying all the facts. We all gotta have all the facts.
That's true. She also dated Errol Flynn, the actor.
What are
the
they
saying,
famous for?
Oh, he played Robin Hood. He was
yes.
like very famous actor in the 1930s. You know the saying "in like Flynn"? That's where it comes from.
Oh, I don't even want to tell you what I thought that was. But I will. It's I thought it was in like Flint, and it was about Larry Flint.
No. Maybe you should just stick to in there like swimwear and leave it at that.
I try. You know what? I don't say these sorts of things anyway, so it's fine. But
sure.
Why in like Flynn?
I don't know.
Because I thought in like Flint, because he did like porn stuff, and it was like a dick or in a hole reference. I don't know. Okay, cool. No. Well, let us know if you thought that. No one.
Also dated a man named fucked on a man named Alec Cunningham Reid, who was a British World War I pilot, like ace pilot, and later a British MP.
Cute.
Yeah. Then, okay, this one blew me out of the water. She fucked General George Patton, which... So weird, so random. One of the most famous generals in American history. So interesting.
What are the circumstances of that?
I don't know. You go to a gala.
A gala?
Yeah. And you're, she was a famous like donor for, I'm sure, like, like her first husband was a politician. Or he was like into politics, so like they were like New Deal, like people who you get into politics when you have money. Period. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yes. Also, I wonder if she purchased any of these men at like a charity auction. When like they sell a date.
Yeah.
I wonder, because this is an interesting assortment. And obviously, it's like she's very loaded. It's like, how would she come to know all these people? Because she's very rich and they want to fuck her. I don't know.
Yeah, she was also 6 feet tall, so she was like a physically imposing woman herself, and like really beautiful, really intimidating. So she needed. She was like into like alpha men, whatever.
She was a Barbizon or whatever.
A Barbizon, an Amazon. I don't know. Oh, she was a Barb.
She was a Barbizon model. What am I thinking? I don't know. I am not on drugs or anything, too. I just want to say I have not had I'm drinking water. I just am maybe really very tired.
I was going to say, maybe that's your issue. Maybe you should have a little shot or something.
Yeah, I should. I know, maybe, yeah.
Then she was linked with Joe Castro, who was a hot jazz pianist who eventually became her common law husband, who she stabbed at one point because she just got mad at him. And she didn't get in any trouble for that, obviously. She also fucked Marlon Brando and a bunch of other people, random. I don't know. Who cares?
Hot or old Marlon Brando?
Hot young Marlon Brando.
Okay.
At one point in the late 1940s, like 1947, she married this hot daddy who was like quite literally the most interesting man in the world. Like he is literally the inspiration for that character.
For that Dos Equis character? Mm-hmm. Whoa.
He was this guy named Porfirio Rubirosa. He was a Dominican diplomat, a race car driver, a soldier, and a polo player.
Oh my God.
He was also a supporter of the dictator Rafael Trujillo. And he was also rumored to be a political assassin under his regime. So he
God.
Yeah, he might have like also been out here
Killed people.
like killing people. Yeah.
Oh my God. She's like, same. No, almost. Yeah. She wants to. She's only stabbed someone at this point.
No, yeah. She like paid off. He was married at the time when they started hooking up, and he was like married to this like hot French actress, and she paid her off she paid her like $1 million basically to divorce him.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, she's like, hi, can you leave now? We're going to like get married, so we need you guys to get divorced.
Here's $1 million. That's the best case scenario for someone coming in and like breaking up a marriage.
Yeah, it's like almost like alimony for, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I hope, well, it's sad if they were in love, but also I hope that lady just like moved back to Paris and just was like, fucking.
Fuck you, yeah.
Yeah, loaded.
Yeah, but pretty shitty thing to do.
Yeah, it's shitty. It's rude.
And so this guy, though, Rubirosa, he was like a international playboy. He like jet setted everywhere, was hot, and like I guess like was really good at sex and had a cool dick. Like apparently.
What's a cool dick?
A big one that worked really good
and looked nice.
And looked nice and was like ready to go, and he knew what to do with it. This guy's dick was so legendary that those like huge pepper mills that they have at fancy like steakhouses or French restaurants.
Yeah, like can I offer you some cracked pepper for your salad?
Yeah, and they're like this big,
Yeah.
The like legend has it like Parisian waiters who had heard rumors of his huge peen were inspired to nickname the gigantic pepper mills Rubirosas.
Oh my God.
And that's where that nickname for those big pepper mills comes from, is from his dick.
Oh my God.
I just had to sidebar about that for a minute because.
And this man wasn't even French. Oh no, he was.
No, he was Dominican.
Oh, he was. Oh, but he was just married to a French woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, wow, things got back to France. Small country, I guess. And they were like.
No, I mean, he probably he lived there with his French wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He was a diplomat, so he was like all over the place.
Oh, okay. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
This is wild. Also, that is too large. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I hope not. I hope it wasn't that big. That's scary.
That's a trouser snake.
Oh, that's like
right?
python.
That's a trouser python.
Yeah. So this guy, I had to talk about him for a second because
that was
like,
fun.
Wow, Doris, get it?
Shake that pepper.
Yeah,
grind it.
She also had multiple homes with names. One of them was called Falcon Lair, and that was in Beverly Hills. She had a house called Shangri-La, of course, in Honolulu, Hawaii. Duke Farms was in Hillsborough Township in New Jersey. the James B. Duke House, which was in New York City, New York, and Rough Point. Newport, Rhode Island is where that one was. And that is where the whole incident that occurs that we'll talk about in a moment happens.
It was rough.
Yeah, rough. Really
That's where
rough.
she went to get rough.
Yeah. Her philanthropic work, though, is pretty legendary. At her father's estate in Hillsborough Township, New Jersey, the Duke Farms estate, she created one of America's largest indoor botanical gardens, and I think it's like still open to the public today. You can go there. She was also active in preserving more than 80 historic buildings in Newport, Rhode Island. More on that later. She was very close personal friends with former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, and in 1968, when Doris Duke created the Newport Restoration Foundation, Jackie O was appointed the vice president and championed the foundation. Speaking
of knowing the Kennedys,
she knew.
She did.
Yeah.
She was the first she was the first rich person to be on a first name basis with the Kennedys.
Oh, she probably made the Kennedys, honestly.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
oh
probably big part of her fundraising work.
Dang.
She did a lot of philanthropic work in AIDS research, medicine, and child welfare throughout her old age. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s. She also donated money to educate black students in the South who were disadvantaged. And at the end of her life, her estimated $1.3 billion fortune was largely left to charity. And this is mostly because she had no heirs. Oh. And she changed her will constantly because she trusted very, very few people, if anyone at all.
That's that rich people paranoia.
Oh, yeah. That was like one of the things her dad on his deathbed said to her. One of the last things he said to her was trust no one. So,
oh, God.
A little trauma there.
That'll send you into a tailspin.
Yeah.
Also, it is hard to trust people when you're a rich person.
Yeah, there's a lot of people leeching off of you, which is, whatever. Just the way it is. I think at one point, this is like another weird sidebar. She like adopted a 35-year-old grown-ass woman.
Oh, no.
This woman like kind of like was a grifter, I think, and kind of like ingratiated herself, and she was like a Hare Krishna, and like convinced,
this all checks out,
convinced Doris Duke that she was the reincarnated soul of her daughter who had died. She had one daughter, but she died like the day after she was born because she was premature. So
oh my God. And this woman showed up and was like, I'm your premature daughter that passed away.
Yeah.
Oh my, what a fucking asshole.
I know, really big piece of shit. So, but yeah, it's like she was in her will for a while. She like adopted her.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
but also she collected people.
Yes.
So she was open to this sort of shit.
Yeah, but then she disowned her later. So this lady didn't get shit. Yeah.
Well, that's good because she didn't deserve anything.
No.
That's insane.
Doris Duke's legacy is now administered by the Doris Duke Charitable Foundation. I don't know if you guys listen to NPR on a regular basis, but a lot of times that is one of their major that's one of NPR's like major sponsors. So you probably are familiar with her name because of that. If you listen to a lot of NPR, I don't know. And a lot of the money goes to medical research, prevention of cruelty to children and animals, and the performing arts, wildlife, and ecology. So it's like spread out pretty well. And cool, thank God for that money. Mm-hmm. And, like I was saying, like all in all, Doris Duke sounds rad, but unfortunately, she was also a bit of a fucking asshole.
Oh my God. Yeah.
As a lot of rich people are wont to do.
Oh my God. Yeah.
There's like tons of accounts from like former assistants and people who worked for her. Her former business manager, Patrick Mann, who co-authored a book called Daddy's Duchess. It's a damning biography about her, and it like talks a lot of shit on her.
Oh my God, it sounds like a fun
read.
or like a fun like
porn?
like a fun leather bar or something in the UK.
Ooh, yeah, Daddy's Duchess.
Yeah. Right? I
Yeah.
want to go there. Like Saturday night, Daddy's Duchess. I'd be like, I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Her own godson, Pony Duke, co-wrote another tell-all called Too Rich. And in his book, he says, quote, Doris gave no second chances. She collected people and then she threw them away.
Yikes. Only a fucking rich person could be named Pony and like
That's
not
true.
have to deal with it. You know?
Or if you're like a cowboy, you know.
Oh, yeah. Or like an outsider.
Stay gold, pony boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
when you're named Pony, as you get older, are you then called horse? Are you only is it like how some people are Jimmy when they're a kid and then they're Jim when they're an adult?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
That sounds right.
Or like Pony and then you're named Steed or something as you get older. I don't know.
Stallion. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that all checks out for sure. Doris would regularly hire ex-FBI agents to intimidate disgruntled friends and lovers who might be sources for reporters or biographers.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, she's just really out here. Ex-staffers were threatened and bullied, you know, just the usual. And, yeah, she fucking stabbed one of her ex-husbands, so...
Well, when you're not used to hearing the word no, I feel like you can get up to some shit, you know?
I think they had a very tempestuous relationship. I think he was like kind of abusive towards her. And so I don't know the full context of that, but you still, you know,
but
you
all
just
this
can't
stuff
go
is
around.
bad. It's not like...
You can't go around stabbing people.
No.
So...
All this stuff's bad. I feel like, yeah, she just kind of had a temper maybe, or like she kind of could get tantrumy. Like, why are you needing to hire FBI agents to like go after lovers?
Because you can.
Weird.
If you don't.
Because you can.
Yeah. Because you know the story is going to be bad. It's going to be all over the newspapers.
Oh, yeah, true. And you could like slander them and in the papers.
She sued her own mother when she was like really young.
Yeah.
Like, and she throughout her life, she was like constantly in legal battles. She had like over 40 lawsuits, like, you know, was in and out. She had the time. Yeah, she had the time. She had the money. So
yeah.
It's just what happens when you're really wealthy.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I guess another question I have is like, have you ever been friends with someone who collects people?
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I have. Maybe, but probably when I was young and couldn't tell, you know.
But yeah, like sometimes these people just, you know, they have like a power imbalance almost over you.
Yeah.
Like it's like having like a possessive girlfriend or boyfriend, and usually that person has more money, power, status, whatever.
Yeah.
And it could be a weird dynamic that maybe you don't realize, but you might also be using them too for whatever.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I don't know. If you decide though to leave their orbit, they get pissed.
Yeah.
And you have to like strategically.
You got to make it think it was their idea. It's like one of those things.
Yeah. So this is basically what happened to this man that was very good friends with Doris Duke. His name was Eduardo Tarella. And he had been a loyal friend and confidant of Doris's for about a decade. He was, by all accounts, a very awesome, cool person. Lived a really cool life. Was, you know, successful in his own right.
Yeah, was a star on the rise.
Yeah, he was a handsome war vet with a Bronze Star. When he came back from World War II, he became a milliner, which is a hat maker. And he eventually became a respected interior designer for many famous people. And he parlayed that talent for interior design into a set design career for big Hollywood films that were like starting, like he was starting to work on some pretty big films. I think he worked on a Elizabeth Taylor film.
Ooh.
And that like started catapulting him into more opportunities. So his career in Hollywood was like about to take off. So he was also an out gay man in the 1960s, which is pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a longtime partner who he was like starting a new life with, basically out in California. And he was going to pursue his set design career fully.
Wow.
The only issue was he was very, very much in the clutches of Doris.
Mm-hmm.
And he needed to extricate himself from her grasp, basically. She relied on him very heavily for everything. And not just like design stuff, because she was constantly like redoing a room in one of her houses or whatever, or needing him to like go like check on fabrics with her for something. Like it was again, like that kind of a person where you're just like, you are so, when you collect people, you like use them up basically.
Yeah. And you're very like needy.
Yeah. And it's like, it's because of the fact that she couldn't trust very many people.
Yeah.
And he had been close to her in kind of a professional way for a long time, but like began to be more in integral in her life, to where it was just like she couldn't do without him.
Yeah.
So he had to figure out a way to like, I think he'd probably been hinting for a long time to her that he was going to move to California to pursue his career in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
But she just ignored it and was like, yeah, whatever. No, you're not leaving. You're not going to leave me.
Well, and also like the gall to leave me, you know, it's like, I don't know. She's like, I'm a rich lady and I treat you so well. And like, why would you ever want to leave my orbit? You know?
Yeah. Like I can take care of you. You don't need to like, go and do all these silly things that you think you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was going to do it though. And so literally he had rented a station wagon to move all of his belongings to drive across the country with his partner. And he went to go tell her like, hey, I know you're in denial, but I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so this story about Eduardo and Doris Duke came to my attention last year when I read an article by a man named Peter Lance that was in Vanity Fair. It's like the July issue maybe of Vanity Fair that it's in. But Peter Lance proposes in this article that on October 7th of 1966, when Eduardo goes to tell Doris he's leaving, she freaked out and murdered him, basically.
Oh.
And the story is that she ran him over with the car that he had rented to move across the country.
Oh my God.
This incident had long been considered an accident, but there were many, many red flags that Peter Lance was like, wait a minute, are we going to talk about this ever? Or let's, I'm going to just dive into this. So he writes this article and brings to light the initial, like he does a full investigation basically.
Yeah.
And he also wrote a book about this whole thing called Homicide at Rough Point. And he wrote all about the circumstances surrounding Tarella's death at the time.
Good for this guy. I feel like just hearing any sort of backstory on this woman and then the fact that this happened, the whole thing's a red flag. I'm like, she stabbed her common law husband. She like was kind of paranoid and like had some weird shit going on. Like, I feel like there could be something sketchy here.
Well, and the fact that she has motive because she
didn't want to be abandoned.
She wanted to be abandoned.
Yeah.
They had a fight.
Yeah.
So more on the book he wrote in a bit, but according to the article, the original article that he wrote in Vanity Fair, on the afternoon of the incident, Eduardo came over, and I'm going to call him Eddie from now because that's my dad's name and I like it. And
we don't know if he went by Eddie or not, but he is now.
His friends and family called him Eddie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm not his friend or his family, but you know. Eddie had come over and just told Doris that he was going to leave for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Drove over in the station wagon that he rented, like I said. And he drove over to her estate, Rough Point, which is in whatchamacallit?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, yeah. Newport, Rhode Island. And he gets there and tells her, like, hey, like, it's happening and it's happening tomorrow. And I don't
right now.
I don't know what to tell you. I've been telling you this for a long time, that this is like my dream. And
also,
this
like,
is my life.
Yeah, like first of all, she was probably like a huge narcissist. It's because it's also like, this isn't about you. Like, and also it doesn't mean we're not friends anymore. It's so weird. It's so, like, I get that people get sad and upset when like something like this happens. Like if you find out someone's moving away or something, it could be sad, you know, but it's like, how weird to think that it's anything to do with you.
Also, she had a home out there, and
she had a home everywhere.
Yeah, she had
a home everywhere. $1 billion and probably a private jet. Like, she could just come there.
And he'd already been going out to California for many, many years with his partner. Like, you know, doing these trips. Like, they're all jet setters anyway. So it's just like, I don't know.
Fucking come to Hollywood. We'll get drinks at Chateau Marmont with like all the celebrities.
Yeah, it's
going to be great.
It was just ridiculous. But so he breaks he tells her, I'm leaving. This is happening. And they get in a huge argument, like a screaming match. There's members of her staff that have given statements that they heard them screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Eventually she needed him to come over in the first place because she was going to go acquire a piece of, you know, some bust or something from an antique dealer.
Yeah, some Van Gogh painting or.
Yeah, no, it was literally a bust of like a 14th century
just some like Michelangelo throwaway fucking statue, and she's like, oh, I can buy that.
Yeah, and so she had to go meet with this antique dealer, and she couldn't do it without her Eddie. So they get in the car and they are going to go to this appointment at the antique dealer. Now Eddie's driving, so they pull up to the gate. He gets out of the car to unlock the gate. And as he's unlocking the gate, Doris slides over from the passenger side into the driver's side, like guns it and hits him with the car. Yeah. Busts through the gate.
Oh my God.
He's on the car, and then she stops and he flies off, and then she runs over him, drags him 40 feet, and basically kills him instantly with that second hit. Yeah. Yeah, she crashes
like into a tree with him in
the front too. She drags his body like 40 feet and hops a curb and then like hits a tree. That's across the street from her gate. And this is exactly what happened based on the evidence and new findings and expert analysis of all the existing reports of the scene of the incident. Yeah. However, this is not what the police and the press at the time reported.
Oh my God.
Bitch, that shit got covered up big time.
Oh my God.
Like, this is what you can do if you're really wealthy. This is what
you can do. You could buy everyone off and you don't get in trouble. I mean, even in our time, just celebrities or like very wealthy people that have like gotten in trouble, or like what's even going on with like Prince Andrew right now and all the legal shit he's into. But like, is anything actually ever going to happen? You know, it's like probably not. Like, he could probably buy his way out. Like,
oh, and I'm sure there's things we know absolutely nothing about because
never even came to the light of day.
No,
because they've been bought off. Yeah.
Well, you know who did have time for murder was Doris Duke, because that's exactly what she did. Yeah. But within 96 hours, just a few days after the initial incident,
Yeah.
The police in Rhode Island closed the case, declared it an accident, and there was a sergeant on the accident who pretty much put it all together.
Yeah.
Basically, what I just said, like,
Yeah.
she hit him with the car.
Yeah.
He flew up on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
She crashed through the gate. She tapped the brakes. He flew off.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gunned it again and dragged his body 40 feet, crashed
Mm-hmm.
into the curb in the tree,
Yep.
and killed him instantly. It was recorded. Like, all these things, all this evidence was recorded, but
Yeah.
it didn't matter because that's not what was reported or taken down as, like, you know, the truth by the police and then reported to the media at the time. The police who were in charge, not this guy, Fred Newton, who pieced everything together, who solved the crime, basically.
He was just a sergeant on the scene. Yeah.
Because it was pretty obvious what had happened. There was like a lot of things that you just look at. You're like, okay, this. Yeah.
There was even like a rookie cop that was there and was like, I think I know what happened.
Yeah, pretty much. But
it's like first day on the job and he's like, I think that lady ran this guy over with her car.
I mean, that is exactly what happened.
Yeah,
but it was like, but was it an accident? Like,
right.
They made it pretty it was made pretty clear that it was not an accident at the time. But the chief of police at the time was he got gotten to by her. Like,
and the mafia.
Well, he had connections with the mafia, so he was fine with getting probably like paid off for stuff.
Yeah.
But she had no connection to the mafia.
No, she didn't. No.
He was just corrupt. He was just like a, chief of police who was like,
he was just corrupt. Yeah.
He probably interviewed her and was like, "Did you murder this guy?" And she was like, "No." He's like, "Are you sure?" No, I mean, yeah, but
yeah,
he made me
Here's
mad.
some money.
Here's some money. And he's like, okay, yeah, it was an accident.
I feel like he probably went to her and like extorted. Yeah, like was like, hey, listen, some of the guys that I've been dealing with have encouraged me to come to you.
He knew she was one of the richest people in the world.
But
and
it's
was
like,
just like,
you could buy yourself out of this. If you just grease my palms a little. And, like he was already doing fucking bad shit. And
yeah, he was just like, Miss Duke, we know what happened here. So
show me the money.
We'll make it go away for you. Okay. Yeah, they definitely had some sort of deal because over the next few months, she donated a shit ton of money basically to the town of Newport, the entire town.
Yeah.
What would today be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just 8 days after the crash, she donated $25,000, which is equal to almost $200,000 today, to restore the historic Cliff Walk, which is a public promenade behind all the mansions that line Newport's shoreline. It was very weird that it happened so soon after the incident, but also she had like these dogs that she would sick on people that would walk on this path. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, people had gotten really pissed at her for many years because she just like hated any plebe daring to come near
of course
her house.
Yeah.
She had put a chain link fence up so it like blocked the walkway, and they were like, "Man, this is a public walkway. You can't do that." And
that's like in Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just very, very convenient that 8 days later she donated all this money to restore the historic Cliff Walk.
Oh my God.
She also gave more than $10,000 to the Newport Hospital where she had been taken after the incident. Her and Eddie had been taken to the hospital. She was evaluated for injuries. She really didn't really have any.
Yeah.
He definitely did though, because he was very dead.
Yeah.
And I think like once she was admitted to that hospital, she bought off everybody in that hospital. The admitting doctor became her personal doctor immediately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was very fishy. And then she, in the following months after the incident, she began to set up the Newport Restoration Foundation, which in time would renovate those 84 colonial era buildings I had mentioned in the very beginning of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then, within that same time period, the chief of police, Joseph A.
Radice.
Radice. There you go.
If he's an Italian.
Which
I think he was, yeah.
Radish. I don't know. Is that Italian for radish? No.
Undetermined.
So this Radice guy, the chief of police, retired conveniently, but not before he promoted a bunch of the officers that were also involved in this whole cover up. Like 7 months later, he also, once he retired, he also eventually purchased a couple condos down in Florida. No big deal. The inspector who had questioned Duke after the incident was named as Radice's. Is that how you say it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I'm gonna say Radice's
nice.
After Radice retired, his replacement was this inspector who actually leapfrogged over the logical successor, the captain of detectives, to become the new chief.
Oh.
And then another cop who had interviewed Duke was promoted to sergeant. So
oh, wow.
It's just like, come on, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was definitely paid off. And even his daughter, I think, after many years after this incident, was like, Dad, come on. You got paid off. And he's like, if you can find the money, you can have it.
Oh God.
She's like, yeah, the money's in the condos you bought in Florida. What are you talking about?
Remember when you were a public servant?
And you were only making, like 40 grand a year. Not enough money to purchase 2 fucking condos in Florida. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
So back to Peter Lance, though, the guy who wrote the Vanity Fair article last year.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote this book called what was it called? Homicide in
in Rough Point?
In Rough Point, yep. Homicide at Rough Point. Mm-hmm. When he came out with that book, it got a good amount of attention, and he went on a book tour. And just recently, that's when the book came out, just recently, it caught the attention of a man named Bob Walker. Bob Walker was a 13-year-old paperboy at the time and was actually in the area of the accident when it was happening. So Bob Walker approached Peter Lance at a book signing, actually, and told him all this shit. Yeah. So Bob was, like I said, 13 years old, and he was literally on the way to deliver Doris Duke her copy of the Newport Daily News, and he heard arguing. He heard 2 people screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And so he was like, ooh, what the fuck's going on? It was like a nice, Tony neighborhood. He's like, people shouldn't be screaming at each other. They're all rich here. Why would anybody be screaming at each other? So he's like on his bike. He's like, I'm going to go see what's happening.
Yep.
And he pedals up and he hears Eddie and Doris screaming at each other, basically. He doesn't realize it at the time who it is. And he hears a crash. He hears a car accelerate. Here's a crash. Here's a skid. Here's a man go, no, scream, no. And then he hears the car accelerate again, and then all the crashing into the curb. And he's around the corner, basically, right when it's happening. And he comes around the corner right after Doris Duke crashed the car into the tree.
Yeah.
And it basically, all of what he heard and then subsequently witnessed lines up exactly with what the investigators at the time had
the police sergeant
actually reported. The police that actually reported what they had observed.
Yeah.
So yeah, he basically was a eyewitness to all this. He said he saw Doris Duke
An ear witness.
An ear and eyewitness.
Yeah.
But he was 13 years old at the time, so this is like very fucked up. He said when he came around the corner, he saw Doris Duke get out of the car right after she'd crashed, and she just stood there and stared down at the accident, down at the car, underneath the car, I should say.
Yeah.
And she just stood there, and then she like basically chased him off when she realized he had pedaled up right behind her, and he asked her if she needed help and if he should call the police, and she told him to get the fuck out of there, basically.
She was like doing that basketball move where you like
go she's like boxing
side.
him out.
Yeah. She's like, not over here, not over here.
She like wouldn't let him see like what was going on with the car or what was underneath it, which was a dead body.
Good thing, honestly, too, because that would have been even more traumatic for that poor kid.
Yeah. Really, really sad. There was also a couple of other eyewitnesses who pulled up right afterwards. A man and his daughter, who the daughter was like a nurse at the time, saw what was happening, and she kind of like went into this like panic mode that they took to be shock. But the way she behaved was like weird, and they were like, okay, like she ran back in her house, and they were like running after her, like, are you hurt? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
The cops said she had like lacerations on her face and she needed tons of stitches, but both this man, Bob Walker, the 13-year-old paperboy at the time, and these other two witnesses said that she was not bleeding.
Yeah.
The cops just said that for dramatic effect, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. So, yeah. This man, Bob Walker, though, back to him, he laid out the whole story to Peter of how he was there. Peter took him to the spot where it happened. Mm-hmm. There's a follow-up article in Vanity Fair that just came out like last month, and there's a video on Vanity Fair's website where you can watch this man, Bob Walker, like walk Peter Lance through the whole incident that he witnessed and explain exactly what happened. And you might be wondering, like, why is this guy coming forward now? Well, he was 13 at the time. And when he went to his dad to tell him what happened, his dad was like, do not say a fucking word. Mm-hmm. This woman is extremely powerful, and she might kill you, basically.
Or have you killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He just like kept quiet. Like when he was 13 and he told his dad just basically said, don't say shit. Yeah. And when he turned 18 and was like headed off to the Marines, he was like, Dad, why were you so crazy about that? And his dad told him, he's like, I was worried for you. I didn't want you to get hurt. Yeah. And then by that time, it's like 5 years later. So he's just like, I guess I won't say anything about it. But yeah. But this man, he was like, after this book came out by Peter Lance, he was just like, I have to say something. This is like, there's all this like evidence now, because Peter Lance went all the way to the end of the line with this one. He interviewed the police officers that are still alive now today that had this case. Yep. And he went to like forensic people who were able to like analyze all of the evidence that's still left over, because also thing I forgot to mention is that all of the like a lot of the evidence was destroyed by the police department from this case. So whatever was left, the investigators that still had stuff, and like the fire department still had some stuff, and so there was still
some like some record of it.
There's some record of what actually happened, and like it, wow. And then Bob Walker came forward, and Bob Walker didn't just go to Peter Lance. He went to the Newport Police Department and told them, I was there. Yeah. This is my story. I think she murdered this man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because of Bob Walker coming forward, and in addition, Peter Lance having all of this additional like information, as of August 2nd, 2021, this case is now reopened.
Oh my God.
And it's more than likely going to find that Doris Duke did indeed run her friend over deliberately.
Duh.
And she murdered him.
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, I'm like, good, because at least it'll be like it on the record. And on the other, I'm like, do we even need to go through all that and waste the resources of like the police department? I think we can all just
dead.
say,
Yeah,
she's dead and he's dead. And it's like, let's just call it as we see it, which is she was guilty, and move on. Like,
but I think you have to have some sort of justice for this man, because his family is still alive and they would like to see justice for this. And
yeah, that would still be justice. I think you can just solve it. Like it doesn't, seems like they have all the things to solve it. Like, well, just mark it down and move on. Like,
yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like, you have to officially like say,
yeah.
we've done our due diligence and this is what actually happened. Doris Duke murdered her friend, and we are putting it on record that she murdered somebody, and it was because of her wealth and influence that justice was not done in the first place. And we want to rectify that and maybe pay some of that money for the wrongful death of this man that happened in 1966. So
pay his family some of the money for like damages, and also like maybe some of the shit that has her name on it, put his name on it, like some of the funds and gardens and all that fucking shit, like take her name off, put his name on it. I don't know.
I don't know. It's it's sad because he was a big part of her life.
Yeah.
And they were very good friends. Mm-hmm. But it was when this happened, he became like a footnote basically, and like the incident was like barely mentioned in her biographies that people have written about her, and in her like kind of like, oh yeah, and then like this weird thing happened where her like best friend died because she ran him over with a car, but it was like totally an accident.
Oh my God.
It was like that. And so I don't know. I hope that they do the investigate. I mean, it is happening, and they're probably they're gonna.
It's almost done, probably.
Yeah, they're gonna announce that it was a murder. And his family will have some closure.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, it feels very like redundant or something. It feels like
but nobody knew about it.
Yeah. Well,
except for the people that lived in Rhode Island, they knew. They were like, "Oh, that bitch killed him."
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
And she got away with it, and fuck her. Thanks for all this like nice stuff, but
fuck you,
bitch. We see you.
Yeah.
But nobody else in the country knew this shit. They were like, "Oh, Doris Duke got in an accident. How sad. Oh, and her friend died." And then they like never thought about it again.
I never even heard of this lady. So,
oh well.
You know what? She sucks.
Yeah. She did do a lot of good philanthropy, but she also murdered somebody. So
I also wonder, like, was she like doing the good philanthropy stuff, or were just like people managing her money in a smart and effective and helpful way? Like, was she even involved in any of these decisions, or was she just like out collecting people and like sticking her dogs on people or something?
I mean, she was a very smart and savvy person. Like she was left a lot of money, and she had good sense to grow the money in in ways that actually she might not have started out a quote unquote billionaire for the time.
Yeah.
But she when she died, she was worth over $1 billion. So I don't know. Who's to say?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but she sucks.
She sucks. Oh my gosh. Well,
bless Eddie Tarella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was sad. I know.
It's so, the saddest thing to me is the fucking irony of him being murdered, of course, the day before he's
I
about to
know.
start this like new chapter of his life with
Yeah,
his
like,
partner. And
just don't go over there. Like,
I know.
yeah.
That,
It's so sad.
It's so sad. Like people told him, his partner said, please don't go over there. Just leave her.
Yeah, she's
alone.
crazy. She's going to fuck your shit up. Like,
Yeah.
she's going to at least be rude to you, and you're going to be upset by it. And then we're going to have to, like, you know, I haven't really ever noticed if I've been friends with people that collect people, like we were talking about earlier. But I do feel like I've had friends where it is like the friendship is on their terms.
Mm-hmm.
And when it doesn't go well, and I don't really have any of these friends anymore. This was like when I was younger and had like really low self-esteem, I feel like. But like, and so everything was very sensitive. And then it was like, if something happened, it was a whole big thing. It's like, you know, everything just blew up out of nowhere. And you just then you're spending all your time fixing it and making sure they like you again. And then,
well, and that's just your 20s too.
Yeah,
it's just like everything's so fraught. Like
true.
Your teens and your 20s, you're just like everything's hard. So
yeah, that's true. Maybe it was that.
This is a grown ass woman.
Yeah. Oh, she was. Yeah.
You know,
these are adults.
Like, you know, she's like in her like late 30s, 40s, whatever when this happened.
Yeah.
So, bitch, get a grip.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening to this episode. I think that's all I got on this.
Yeah.
Wild topic.
So wild.
Rich people are fucking crazy. Yeet the rich.
Yeet the rich.
And also follow us on social media. It's at DTFU podcast everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Do we all buy Ruby Rosas now?
I want one now, just to like. That's named after a dick.
Did you know? It's like your thing at dinner parties. Did you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
conversation starter. Next time I'm at a fancy restaurant, I'm
telling the waiter.
I'm telling the waiter. I'm telling tables around me.
Yeah.
You guys know Doris Duke?
Yeah.
Do you know one of her husbands had a cool dick?
It was shaped just like this. It had like a knobby thing on top with like a point.
And you just kind of twist it a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. I think we're done.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Listen here. Stay excellent to yourselves.
And each other.
Bye.
Bye.